Even when it comes to a lot of niche brands, designer brands as well, actually, there are so many offerings from each particular brand that it's kind of hard to assess what is the best one for the fall or the winter or whatever season you happen to be in. In today's video, I'm going to be going over 10 popular brands, and I'm going to tell you what I think, objectively speaking, is the best fall fragrance that each brand has to offer. I'm looking forward to sharing my list with you very soon, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I go over these 10 popular brands, some of them are really popular on the YouTube ecosphere. Some of them are popular just generally speaking. You walk into a department store and voila, there it is. I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, top 10 videos, reviews, giveaways, unboxing, special guests, all that good stuff, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and please give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. So, 10 popular brands, what I think, kind of objectively speaking, is the best one for the fall. Of course, you think of the fall/autumn, you think of resins, you think of smoke, you think of amber, you think of spices. Of course, cinnamon is a prevailing note in a lot of these fragrances as well. Let's go ahead and start things off with this one, which is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. So the first designer brand, hugely popular. You walk into most department stores that carry fragrances, and of course they're going to carry Tom Ford. Tobacco Vanille is this cherry moistened pipe tobacco type of a fragrance. The vanilla is beautiful. There's a lot of cinnamon in here as well. It's just a warm, decadent, sophisticated fragrance that I personally love. Now, we have the house of Parfums de Marly. I did a video on Parfums de Marly, and I said the one that I'm looking forward to wearing the most for this fall season of 2023 is Pegasus Exclusive. There's just something about the vanilla, the oud, that creamy goodness that it has to offer. But this is the one that I think most people are going to gravitate towards for the fall season. And of course, this is Oajan. So this fragrance, of course, you've heard people say this, cinnamon apple pie. It's warm, it's resinous, it has that overtone of cinnamon, it's a little spicy, it's a little sweet, but it's amazing for this time of the year. And it's probably the quintessential Marly fragrance for the fall. Of course, we have a niche brand here, and it's Tower Perfumes. This one, I think, is the best one. It's called L'air du Desert Marocain, the second fragrance that the brand has ever put out. The perfumer is Andy Tower. Of course, you do have some rose-based offerings from the brand. I think a lot of them are pretty versatile, great for the spring as well. There's another one that's a little bit darker, and I think that one is more catered towards the winter. And of course, he also has one called Lone Star Memories. I also think that one is really good for the winter. And then there's a Pentacord collection. A lot of those are kind of synthetic. I think they are made of entirely synthetic ingredients. Those are more versatile. This is the best one for the fall. It's ambery, it's spicy, it's super long lasting. The next fragrance I want to talk about is by Inicio Parfum, and this one is called Side Effect. Now, of course, for the fall, you can wear Bless Baraka, you can wear Oud for Happiness, you can wear Paragon. Actually, Paragon could have been the one on this list, but I think Side Effect, because it has the cinnamon and it has a bit of saffron in the dry down too, so it's spicy, it's a little bit leathery, it has the tobacco, there's vanilla. I also get a little bit of a creamy, kumaric, tonka bean vibe. Always puts me in the mindset of fall. And then you have this boozy rum ingredient to kind of complete things. It's a beautiful fragrance. By the brand Mancera, there is red tobacco. So here's the thing, there's also an intense version of this fragrance. I'm going to save that for the winter time, and I also don't own a bottle, so I wouldn't be able to showcase it in this list anyway, but red tobacco is phenomenal for this time of the year. Tobacco, as a note, always strikes me as an autumnal ingredient in perfumes, and red tobacco is just quite wonderful. It's spicy. There's also this ambery backdrop, and it does have vanilla in here as well. So it's a tobacco ingredient that also leans a little bit on the sweet side of things. Here is a new brand. This is Vivamor Parfum, and this is called Tobacco Supreme. This fragrance was composed by Chris Maurice, who did most of Xerjoff fragrances. Now this is a dry, woodsy tobacco. It smells very elegant, very sophisticated. And of course you have a bunch of other fragrances, Reserve Exclusive and Rouge Imperial, and also their Cherry Privé is amazing for this time of the year. But once again, tobacco always struck me as an autumnal note. So for that reason, I decided to show this one. Now here we have Zadig and Voltaire. You know which one I'm going to feature in this list. This is him. This is him is this dark, spicy, warm, ambery, incensey fragrance. So here we have the note of incense, but here's the thing. There's a lot of really dark incense fragrances. Like there's a brand called Filippo Sorcinelli. It's an Italian brand. He has a fragrance called Unum Laves. That one is great for the winter time. There's also Incense Avignon by Comme des Garçons, great for the winter time, I think, because it tends to lean smoky. This one is not that smoky. It's more on the amber side of things, but you do pick up on the incense, which in my opinion makes it an amazing fragrance for the fall. Of course, we also have Aaron Terence Hughes. So here's the thing, I decided to feature the fragrance Guapo. I think this is the one. I'm hoping it's not Maverick. Please don't let it be Maverick. I think Guapo is the one that has the plum and the resins and the woods. And this one is just amazing for the fall. Of course, there's also Hard Candy and Hard Candy Elixir. Yes, those are great for the fall too. And they are among my favorites. But I think Hard Candy Elixir is so long lasting. I would prefer to wear it in the winter time. And of course, the one that has gotten tons of hype lately is Supernova. That's an all year round type of scent. So I would personally go with either Guapo or Maverick, both of which I've reviewed, but the one that I'm featuring in this video today is Guapo. The next fragrance I want to talk about, the brand of Guerlain. I have so many Guerlain fragrances, even going as far back as Shalimar, which came out in the 20s, and I have Tonka Imperial, and I have the Eau de Colognes, and I have a lot of Guerlain fragrances, and of course Vetiver is one that I kind of grew up on. So I'm looking at my collection of Guerlain fragrances, but the one that I have to feature in this video is the newest offering, and this stuff is incredible. Tobacco Honey. So again, you have the honey, which lends a little bit of sweetness and charisma to the fragrance. The tobacco, which of course I've also compared to a few other fragrances, Tobacco Vanille, and there's a lot of tobacco-based offerings on this list. The honey is appropriately sweet. It's not overly sweet. There's a touch of powderiness, but it's very classy. It just gives off this sophisticated, well-groomed appeal. This is an amazing, amazing fragrance. If there's one fragrance to add to your collection this year, coming from a brand that has a rich history and distinction and quality, this fragrance, Tobacco Honey by Guerlain, is one that you must add to your collection. It is phenomenal. And then the brand that I want to talk about last is Amouage. So the thing with Amouage is you have a lot of really bright offerings, Beach Hut Man, Reflection for Men, so on and so forth. These are great for the hotter weather, but they're also super long lasting. So I like wearing them in the colder weather as well, but they're pretty versatile, all things considered. And then of course you also have fragrances like Interlude, and you have, Boundless, Material. Boundless I almost put onto this list because Boundless is a phenomenal tobacco fragrance, and I said, you know what, I think we're kind of overwhelming here with the tobacco offerings. This next fragrance is kind of sweet, kind of resinous, kind of boozy. It gets compared a lot to Creation E by Roja Parfum. The perfumer for this is Julien Rasconnet, who's an amazing perfumer. I've personally worked with him on a number of different fragrances, including Ray Spirits by Navitus Parfum, which should have been on this list, to be honest with you. But, I tried to keep this objective. This fragrance is Enclave. Enclave is amazing. You gotta look it up. You gotta look at the ingredients. For me personally, I have my favorite Amouages, right? There are some others that I like to wear during this time of the year, like Boundless, for example. Also, I love wearing Interlude. I'm not gonna wait until the winter to wear Interlude. I'm just gonna wear it today if I'm really in the mood for it. But again, I'm taking a more objective approach here. I think if you were to walk into a department store that carries the brand and you said, look, Mr. or Mrs. Sales Associate, sir or ma'am, which one from the brand do you think would be the best for the autumn? This is the one that I would personally recommend. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's ambery, it's a little boozy. It has just a very diverse range of notes that cater towards this time of the year, and Enclave is amazing. Look it up. I'm going to leave all of the links down below if you're interested in checking any of these out. Thank you again so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. The best fall fragrance from 10 popular brands, both niche and designer. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.